Right then. 3, 2, 1, and welcome to another math session. I hope you are enjoying these, and I hope they give you lots of things to do. So far we're just recapping some of our basic math skills. We're going to be going through the basic 4 functions that we use in maths. That's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now we've done adding and subtracting. We'll do a bit of recap there. Today we're going to look at some multiplication. Before I get started, I'd just like to bring attention to this website here. White Rose Maths is a really good website that kind of maps out everything that we do. If you go to that website, you get something that looks a bit like this. You go onto home learning in year 3, and this shows you all the different things that we do in maths across the year. So we to about here before lockdown started. So we're just recapping this. And next week we're going to go on to fractions. Dum dum dum. And from here you can click on one of the units of work. I think I've already opened it up here. It takes you to pages like this that give you a bit more, some little extensions or some problems, a bit of reasoning to do as well. So check that you understood it. It's just a little bit. If you've finished through all the work that I put on the video, you want a little bit, some more questions to do, or to check that you understand it without me explaining it. There's some more questions here. Well, the good thing about what we're doing so far is you can probably make up your own. So that's that, and I'll also show you this one here. If you go Oak National Academy into Google, and you'll find this website here, and I'll take you through it. So if you went onto Oak National Academy and you went onto subjects, you could go into year 3, any year if you wanted to, and there they have loads of other material as well if you wanted to test yourself. They do videos like what I'm doing. They're probably a little bit better than mine. But if you prefer mine, I'll do theirs. I'll do a bit of both. That's completely up to you. It's just having some things available to you when you're doing your homeschooling. Fantastic. So there's 2 other things that you guys can do if you're looking for some extra work, or if you need something explaining in a different way. We will start off by doing some times table and arithmetic. I do want to hit the button. I'm starting my time tabled leaderboard. Already got one boy who's got 29, beat my score so far. I think I'm 23, so we're going to try and beat 29. Says that he's got a top of 32, but we need to get some proof there. So let's have a go at this again. You can have a go. Hit the button to Google. We're doing the 4 times table at the moment. Okay, wasting time. 7 times 4, 28. Sort of speed up. I've got my concentrating face on, that's why I'm not talking. I'll try and get this. Oh no. 8 times 4. Oh. I think this is the one. I'm going to flurry. 22. I think I beat my high score, but not got one wrong. I made a silly mistake. Hey ho, mistakes happen. Yeah, keep telling me what scores you're getting on Hit the Button for 4 times table. See if you can beat 26, I think is the score to beat so far. Mine's 23. Not too shabby. Let's go on to some of our arithmetic questions. Then we like to start with these. A bit of fluency, a bit of mental maths. You can pause the video there, try these ones in your head, and try these ones with a written method. And it's really good because we're going to be looking at multiplication today. So we've got 2 multiplication questions. So yeah, pause the video and have a go at those on your own. Be really good to do these first independently to check if you can remember how to do multiplication. If you can't, don't worry, because you can come back to it at the end of the lesson, because I will hopefully show you how to do these types of questions. Super, so we'll go through some of the answers there. I'll leave that there in case you want it, or you probably pause it. Right, no mind me talking to myself. 8 times 3 in our head, 8 times table to 3. Just write that down there, it says written method, but we can do 8 times 3, or we can also do, if it's easier, 3 lots of 8, depending on how well you know your tables. They're exactly the same, aren't they? So what is 8 times 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. 8, 16, 24. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. That 10 times, oh, we're going to split it. So I'm learning a little world today. Just going to pause, something keeps coming on. Yep, so 24 is the right answer there. And they're the same. 8 times 3 and 3 times 8, both 24. Where's my other screen gone? Right, then we went on to B, which is 39 divided by 3. Now I haven't done a recap division, but I'm sure you guys can remember that division, and we're looking at groups of, we're thinking of this number 39, we're thinking how many groups of 3 can we get? Another way of thinking about this problem is we're looking at this multiples of 3, so how many 3's are there in 39 will give you the same answer. So seeing as though we've done our 3 times table, or do we need to start from 1? Probably not, because we know it's got 3 10s in it, and we know that 30 goes into 3 10 times. 10 times 3 is 30, 11 times 3 is 33, 12 times 3 is 36, then another 3 more, 37, 38, 39 is going to be 13 groups, 13 lots of 3. Where you could check that, if you weren't too sure, you could get yourself, where's my shapes? You get yourself 3 groups, start sharing 39 equally and see how much was in there. Or a really smarter method than that is that you could look at your number 39. Not very good at writing with this pen. And you could partition it to 3 10s. So you could partition it to 30 and 9. And then you could see how many groups of 3 does 9 go into? 3, 6, 9. And get 3 groups of 3. And then how many groups of 3 does 30? Well, I know that 10 lots of 3 are 30. So I can get 10 groups of 3. And I put those together and I got 13. Super, next two, and then we will 167 add 8. Again, we should be masters at addition. Don't need to, I only really need to focus on the ones because we're only adding ones. So we've got that 167, and we're going to add another 8. Well, what's 7 add 8? That's probably going to bridge 10, so we're probably going to have to do some regrouping. Well, 7 add 3. 8 is made up of 3 and 5. 7 add 3 is 10, and then add the 5, and we've got 15. I've got 15 to add on to my 167. So it's going to be 175. Add one more 10 to my 60, and then I've got the 5 from my ones column there. Last one, 26 times 3. And if you can't do this now, don't worry, because this is exactly what we're learning today. 26 times 3, what's a written method? So I'm probably going to go back to my partitioning again. I'm going to get 26, and I'm going to split it into 20 and 6. Now I can do 6 times 3, which is 18, and 20 times 3. Now I don't know my 3 times table up to 20, so I could treat this 20 as not 2 10s but just 2 1s. So 2 times 3 is 6. However, I didn't have 2 1s, I had 2 10s, so I got to make that 6 10 times bigger. So I would have had 60. And then I'll have to add those together. 60 add 18, 10 more, 70, and then I've got 8. 78 is my answer. That's one method. We'll look at lots of other methods in today's lesson. Super. I thought we would just recap give you some adding problems to recap to check your knowledge. I'll make them bigger so you can see. So here's the first one. You can just pause the video again if you need time to do them by yourself. So it says Eva has 169 sweets in the jar. She gives 37 sweets to Mo. So she's giving them, she's subtracting. Which model represents the problem? So there are 4 models here, A, B, C, and D. So this 169, that would be her total, wouldn't it? So if I know that's my total, that has to go somewhere, specifically in one of these models. And if she's given 37, that's one of my parts, isn't it? And the question wants me to find out what is that other missing, what is that other missing part that makes 169 when you add 37. So could it be this one? Well, we said that our total is 169, so they've not got their total as 169. Another way that this one is probably wrong is that if we've got 169 and we add to it 37, the answer is never going to be a number that's smaller than 169. So we can probably cross that one off. It's not that one. Yeah, you're never going to add 2 numbers and get a smaller number. So just by looking at that one, we can cross that one out. Again here, these are part whole models, aren't they? So this represents this part, add this part, and again, we can't have a situation where we're adding 2 different parts and getting a whole that's smaller than one of the parts, it isn't going to happen. So we've got between C and D. Well, just skimming looking at D, we've got another situation, haven't we, where the whole part is way smaller than the two other parts. So then we just double check that C is the right answer. It's saying that 37 and 132 is 169. Now I'll probably double check that with a quick column addition. 132 and 37, making sure everything's in the right column. 2 and 7 is 9. Oh, what have I forgotten? My symbol. Three tens are 3 tens is 6 tens. Looking so good so far. And 100 add nothing is 100. 169. That all checks out. Big tick for us. Again, if you wanted to have a go on your own, just pause the video when I throw up the questions. Let's have a look at some of these quickly. Again, you can pause if you want to have a go by yourself. So again, we looked at how you could use base 10 to help support some of your column methods. So he's subtracted 28 from 255. There's 255 written out here in my column method there. And he wants to subtract 28, so he's got to take away from the ones first. He's got to try and take 8 ones from 5. He's doing 5, take away 8, 5, take away 8. Now he can't do 5, take away 8, so he's got to rename some of his 10s, and that's what this is showing here. He's taking a 10 and renaming it, so he doesn't have 5 anymore. He's got 5 and 10 ones, 15. That's how you'd show it in your column method. Now I can do 15 take away 8. Start crossing them out if it helps you. 15 take away 8 is 7. And I've also got to now show that I had 5 10s, but because I had to rename a 10 to the ones, I've crossed that 5 out, and now that's 4 10s. So I move on to my 10s. 4 10s take away 2 10s I can do. Cross 2 10s out, and I get 2 10s, and 200 take away 200 is nothing. Can you use the same method to do these sums? A bit extra recap for you if you want. Then there's another method. Instead of using base 10 or deans, they've used counters. So it's 437 take away 72. So 400 is originally 30, and then 4 take away 72. Now I can do this first bit here, can't I? Do 4 take away 2. That's just 2. Now I've got to do 3 10s take away 7 10s. I can't do 3 10s take away 7 10s. So what they've done, they've renamed 100 and renamed it for 10 10s. So now I've got 13 10s. Take away 7 10s is 6. And then that is now 3 hundreds because one of my original hundreds got renamed. Again, have a go at some of these calculations, and then a bit of a challenge for you there. And then an extra really hard challenge just on the recapping of addition. So explain the mistake in this one, should be really easy. And can you explain which one of these is right? A bit of extension work for you there. Right, I think we're ready to look at multiplication, and then we'll be good for today's maths lesson. Where are we going today? I think we're going to start here. too far, I think. Super. So multiplying multiplying and dividing are pretty what's called the inverse of each other. So, and multiplying is repeated addition or groups of adding the same number each time, and dividing is grouping something into a particular number. And we can get fact families from these as well. This is recap. We have done this before, so I'll throw up the InFocus for you to have a quick look at to re-jog your memory. Put 4 or 5 cherries on each cake. Can we make multiplication and division equations? So we're just going to focus on multiplication today. So how many cherries have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's 20. We've got 4 cakes here. So something times something is going to equal 20. Well, I know one of the... Look at this out, I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so on to today's main focus of multiplication. Symbol for multiplication is like this, isn't it? Different ways of looking at multiplication. You've got repeated addition, or we're adding the same number of groups. And we should all be fairly familiar with our times tables up to 12 times 12. We should be practicing those. And we should also be familiar with some of the fact families that multiplication can generate. So for example, a really easy one, I can have 4 times 5. So I've got a group of 4. I haven't got one of them, I've got 5 groups of 4. One way of looking. I'll just copy and paste this in. That will be easier, won't it? If it lets me. So that's 1 group of 4, 2 groups of 4, 3 groups of 4, 4 groups of 4, and 5 groups of 4. But depending on how you look at it and how you see it, you can also see that as not 5 groups of 4, but 4 groups of 5. Let's show that one. One, 2, 3, 4. And when we do this, it's called commutative law. So the same for addition as well. That doesn't matter which way around the numbers go, you will get the same answer. And it depends on how your brain works, how you see it. You're either going to see that as 4 groups of 5, or you're going to see it as 5 groups of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 times 5, 5 times 4 equals 20. From that, you're also going to get 2 division facts as well. You're going to take your whole and we can put it, we can either get the 20 and we can either divide it by 5 and that will give us 4 groups, 4 in each group, or we can divide it into groups of 5. Sorry, we divide it into groups of 4, and we'll get 5 groups. Again, we'll look at division a bit more tomorrow. But that's the basics of multiplication. Now we're going to go on to when you want to multiply bigger numbers that are way beyond our 12 times 12. So let's have a look at a question. Here we are. Here's the InFocus. There are 23 children in a class. How many children are there in 2 classes? So we've got 20 and 3, make 23. But I don't just have one of those, I have 2 lots of 23. So how can I write that as a maths equation? Well, looking at it like that, you can see that we could be adding 2 lots of 23, 23 add 23. That would be one way. If we're adding the same number, that's lots of, we've got 2 lots of 23. Or because it's commutative, we can also say we've got 23 and then we're timesing it by 2. So then how are we going to go about using multiplication to work this out? Okay, well, like addition and subtraction, we're going to use another column method. We're going to set 23 out in a normal column as we've done for multiplication and division. However, we're going to use our times symbol. And we're going to go through the same steps, starting with the ones and going through like that. So my first step, 3 times 2. 3 ones times 2 equals 6 ones. Then step 2, multiply the tens. I've got 2 tens times 2 is 4 tens. 4 tens is 40. And I can put that down in an expanded method to then add it up to 46. I can also do the same thing in a non-expanded method and just put my 4 there and I've got my 46. Super. Again, if that doesn't make sense, I would go back through it, have a look at the methods on here, and just keep practicing. We'll do a few more. So maybe have a go at these. 13 times 3. Well, nothing really changes. It's still just the numbers. That's 13 times 3. 13 is 10 and 3. So I'm going to do 3 lots of 3, which is 9. And 110 times 3, which is 30. Add it together, 39, or you can just add your 3 there. Why don't you have a go at 2, 3, and 4? They try to trick you here. Find the product. That's another word that we use when we're looking at multiplication. The product of these 2 numbers. We're doing 2 lots of 34 times product. They mean the same thing. Ready for some answers? pause that there. Have a go at those. And the answers are here. 93. If you're more comfortable doing expanded method, carry on doing that. If you can just throw in the answers into the answer box, that's okay as well. Then product of 2 and 20, 41. 41 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 tens times 2 is 8 tens, 80. Add it together, 82. So far, so good. Well, we've got this regrouping again. Not to worry, it's fairly similar to what we did in the adding section. So when we added, we had to regroup when our ones became bigger than 10. It's the same principle, just what we do with those regrouped numbers changes. So we've got 23 fish in one tank, and we now want to know how many would be in 4 tanks. Let's pause there, another phone call. "23 fish in one tank, how many fish would be in 4 tanks?" So we're repeating that 23 4 times, repeated addition, multiplication. We're going to do 23. We're doing 23, add 23, add 23, add 23, 23 4 times. 4 times gives you a clue that it's times. 23 times 4. Now I don't know my 4 times tail 23, so I'm probably going to start using my column. 23 times 4. Let's have a look at how they've done it with their base 10 as well. So we know that we start with 3 times 4. 3 ones times 4 ones is 12 ones. Now I'll know from my addition that I can't put 12 ones in the ones column. So I can, I've got to rename the 10 from the 12, and then I've got 2 ones left over. So they're going to do an expanded method. Let's see how they do it. So they're going to put 12 in first. And then we're going to just go for our tens. 2 tens times 4 tens is 8 tens. And then we can add it together that way with our renamed 10. However, there is a faster way, a quick way of doing this. So they've changed the question there. Let's go back to this idea of 23 times 4. So I had 23. It's a bit big, isn't it? I'll make it smaller. And I've got 4 lots of 23. So start with ones. 3 times 4, which is 12. Now we saw that 12 gives us 2 ones and 10 and 1 10. We need to, because we can't put a 10 in the ones column, we need to regroup that, sorry, I always get those wrong, as a 10 that it is, and we can put it in the tens column. Super. So then this is where it gets, you have to remember we're not adding these two together, we're going to look at this at the very end. We still have to do 2 tens times 4 tens. 2 tens times 4 tens is 8 tens, but I've got another 10 here to add on, 9 tens. 92, those are 2 methods there that you can use. I'll show you another one. So 25 times 4 now. So again, they've set it out perfectly. We've got 5 times 4 is 20. 20 gives me no ones and 2 tens. So I've got to rename those 2 tens. Then I'm going to do 2 tens times 4, which is 8 tens. And I've got to add my 8 tens and my 2 tens together. I will get 100. Another way of the timesing by 4 is they've looked at another method that 25 by 25 is 50. Then I'll have 2 lots of those 25s because I've got timesing by 4, I've got 2 lots of 2. Again, that's a bit extra. If you see it like that, that's a bit of an extension for you. Why don't we have a go at these with some expanding and some regrouping, and pause there and have a go. If you're not too sure, go back through the video and have a look at some of the steps. I'd just like to show you the regrouping method where we put it down in our column. So here we have the question 47 times 4. Now 7 times 4 is 28. So before we were just writing it in expanded method, but we can rename the 28 ones. Instead of putting 28 ones, we can put the 8 ones and regroup the 2 tens into our tens. We're then going to do 4 times 4. We're not going to add this yet. We need to do 4 times 4 first. 4 tens times 4, which is 16 tens. And then I add on my 2 extra regrouped tens. 17, 18 tens. 4 tens times 4 is 16, and then I've got to add on my 2 extra tens that I regrouped. And I have 18 tens plus the 8 ones. There's some more for you to have a go at. Pause there and have a go. Go back through the video if you're not quite sure of the lesson and pause it and have a watch, or you can ask me questions on DB Primary for me to go through it again. And if that's all good there, I'll leave some questions on for you to do. Pause the video there, look, have a go. Have a go at some of those. Let me know how you get on. Super, that should be multiplying with simple multiplication and multiplying with regrouping as well. Have a go at those 2 methods and let me know how you get on. That's all the maths for today. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.